Welcome back to Oceanblock. Last time we went through and we basically went through a few different power options from the Powah mod. And we ended up on the reactor. Now, I wanted to mention first that Andros down in the Andros down in the combo. I guess I tried to make it rhyme, but whatever. Andros down in the comments told me about the alternate methods of heating for the turbo generators, these guys here. So the one I was using was lava. That's the one I just kind of figured it was. They kind of say it in the tooltip on the actual quest screen about lava. But you can use other ones as well. Magma blocks apparently don't give as much, but if you use a block of blazing crystal, which can be gotten this way, it apparently will almost triple the amount, I'm guessing the amount of power based on just the temperatures. I don't know if it's a straight comparison like that or not, but you know. And also there are apparently alternate coolants sometimes, but in our pack we only have water. So that's a thing. Now, as well as that, we're still probably going to use the reactor because we already have it set up, and I'm learning that there are ways to make it better. Because Janiro down in the comments told me about the coal, which gives you carbon and apparently increases efficiency, the redstone, which apparently increases production, which means these are going to last even longer and produce more, and our coolant, which is just going to help everything, I guess. I guess maybe the lower the temperature, the more efficient it is or something. So I went ahead and got blue ice here because if you go in, you can actually go use on this guy, and it'll tell you about the coolants. Now, for the reactors, you're kind of looking for these guys. You can put in water as well. I don't know if the water will actually help. We may have to test that because I feel like it's only, I don't know. I'm feeling like the water's not going to do much, but maybe I'll pump it in there anyway. I don't know. Now, as far as these solid coolants go, we have basically, we're using blue ice because we can craft it really easily, but there is obviously, as you can tell, based on temperature, one that is better. And it's dry ice, but it does require us to do basically blue ice and energizing this thing. So that kind of led me to another thing that I want to look into, and not this guy yet. You'll see why we're here. What I want to do is actually look into the PowerPots. Now, I thought about this a little bit longer, and our methods of storing these guys may not actually be all that good. And I say that because these PowerPots require energy. They require us to fuel them with energy. Now, if we take a look at these guys, what we have is the pot on top of a barrel, which has to stay the same. And then we need to put power into it. And the only way we would be able to power every single plot here is to put energy in the top of it. And that would look ridiculously ugly. We might have to redesign how we're doing these guys. Now, the overall theme of the base is going to stay the same. I'm still going to do the ice thing, the whole theme. I'm just saying this corner might have to change, which is kind of a shame because it's kind of the only thing that I actually designed as a base and built. And now it might change because of PowerPots. Thank you, PowerPots. But anyway, so this guy right here is apparently capable of generating a lot of energy. Now, eventually, we're going to upgrade this guy to better reactors, and we'll end up fueling the coal and the redstone and the blue ice even all the way in here automatically. Okay? But I'm not too worried about that yet. I want to see how long they last before we go about doing anything with that kind of automation. I'm just kind of curious to see how quick it'll run through everything. Get this kind of thing going, which leads me to how do we get the, I keep forgetting which buttons do what in this thing. If we go here, how do we get this stuff? And that we need crushed endstone inside a diamond mesh with water. Now, diamond mesh with water is no problem. The endstone, however, is kind of a pain. Now, the best way to go about getting this, can I find, like, here we go, is with the end essence. Clearly, naturally, what we need in order to get this is the end agglomeratio thingamabobber. So we're going to hit A on this guy just so we have access to it. Oh, I think I turned it off. Okay, now it's right at the top. So we need to go about getting these guys, which means we're going to have to craft some stuff manually first before we can even get those to get the seeds, to get things started in the first place. Obviously, I'm not worried about the essences that we need, and I have enough of everything for the seeds as well, so we just need these guys. And if I can get these, then we're good to go. Now, as far as the end stone, we've gotten those before. The way to get it without the essence is just like this. Lava, glowstone, inside of a no-temp jar. No problem. We can get that, okay? Problem is these guys. Now, purpur, which we can also get with end essence, woo, is with popped chorus fruit, which is a smelted one of these. Now, keep a track. We also need a regular one too. So, we need 5 of these, and we need to smelt 4 of them. Now, in order to get these guys, we can do a pot, but, you know, I don't think we have a chorus flower. We might actually have one of these. We might be lucky in that way. It is possible that we already have one of these, but this is how we're going to have to get it anyway. We need to get a botany pot with a chorus flower in order to get some chorus fruit. Makes sense. We could also just grow it normally, but I'm not sure how that works. I don't remember the specifications behind it. So I don't actually know, but it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out at the very least. So we'll go ahead and get basically our chorus fruit. If we have a chorus flower, let's find out if we have one of those guys. Cool. Can I hit an O, please? Yes, we do. Okay, we actually have 6 of them, which we might end up using. So I have to smelt, what, 16 of them? And then we're going to put away the rest of this. So if I go to furnace, go. So I'm going to smelt these guys, and I'm going to make the end agglomeratio, although I am going to need some more end stone, unfortunately, because I need 2 per and not just 2 total. I'm now kind of sad. And I didn't even need that many of them. Goodness gracious, I can't even see crafting recipes these days. Here goes nothing. Did I do it right? I think I did, because it wouldn't have worked otherwise. Thank you, end seeds. So now we don't have to worry about any of that, and we can start gathering end stone, smashing it to bits, and then auto-processing it for our draconium. Well, I went over here and I got these things, and I'm like, yes, I have some draconium. I also have some ender lily seeds, which I don't ever need anymore. But I went over here and I was like, oh, wait a minute. There are seeds for everything in this pack. Okay, so how do you get this? And I was like, oh, okay, there's no seeds. That's cool. So I went ahead with it, got all the end stone, got everything I needed, and I was like, wait a minute. It goes down into this. There are seeds. And then I looked at it, I was like, okay, at least we need some draconium ingots. Surely I don't already have some of... Yep, I already have some of those too. I didn't need to do any of this, but, you know, at least we have some end seeds, I guess. That's cool. Well, I'm making progress now. I did maybe kind of sort of wait a little while so that I could go and get a bunch of those. You know, by a lot, I might mean overnight. We have 26 draconium seeds now. We had over 300 draconium essence here, and it only gave us like 40, I think. We got 40 ingots. Now, where did the other 30 of them go? They went over here into this stuff. So I have the actual fusion crafting core, the draconium fusion crafting injector, and other stuff. It says stack mode on it. Does this matter? Is this okay to do? I don't know if this is okay to do. But anyway, we're going to figure that out later. What I'm learning is that it takes a lot of energy. I mean, I kind of saw that already, but 128 million is a whole heck of a lot. We also got an acceleration wand, which is pretty cool. Like, I can just do this for as long as I want. It's almost like a watering can for any block you want. I have to say, that is actually very cool. It's not exactly what I thought it would be like. I thought it was going to be closer to like time in a bottle, where when you right click on it or you know, apply the effect, it would be a certain time limit. I didn't think it would just do like a one set speed up thing like that. And if we take a look at this guy right here, we need, I don't know, 4 of those, 2 of those, 1 of those, which, hey, look, we have them all. And they're already in the... I don't know how to start this thing, by the way. Does that... Oh. Boom. Oh, cool. You just kind of click on it and you hit craft. It's charging. So it's actually charging... Obviously, it's going to charge really, really slowly because we don't have a lot of energy. But it's pulling the energy from this guy, as you can see. It's... I don't know... Well, okay, our energy here. See, it's only generating... Okay, it jumped up to 5. It was at like 6 or something. Well, I figured something out. Turns out I missed 1 step from Gennaro. Which, Gennaro, I apologize and thank you at the same time because you told me about this other stuff. But obviously, I misinterpreted things on how this works because I thought the coolant, I thought the fluid was a coolant and this was a coolant. So I didn't think we needed both. But apparently we need both. So I don't know. That's a thing. It's working really, really well now. Now we're getting 1500 FE a tick, which is really good for the starter one. Obviously, it's like almost triple what it was. So this guy should be charging pretty decently, I would say. Oh, look, it's starting to static. That's what it is. Oh, that first one's like 54 or whatever. So he's the one who's starting to static. All right, this guy is now sparking fairly consistently. There's one, there's one. It's happening a little bit, and obviously as it gets powered, apparently that's going to keep going up. But it's only at 30%, so I went ahead and built the Hardened Reactor. I skipped a level, so this is tier 3. It took a little bit of grinding because I had to make a lot of energized steel, and I don't have the seed for that yet. I opted to just go ahead and grind out the individual energizing of all of the energized steel, rather than go and make a seed, put it down, and wait a while, which we could do with our acceleration wand and kind of speed it up a little bit, but yeah. I just chose this route. But anyway, so if we shift click all these things in here, it'll kind of fill it all up. We're going to go ahead and do that just to go ahead and get that kicked off as well. So now we have those two. We have the coal and we have the redstone. So we just plop this guy in here, turn this on, and it's going to automatically start generating a lot. I'm hoping if I pick this up and put it back down. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm thinking it'll start going. Yeah, there it goes. It's going faster now because it's also getting the energy from this guy. So it's generating 13K right now. I'm wondering if that's going to stay as it is. Obviously, it's going to use a lot more. I had to fill this up initially. That's why it dropped down from 64 to 54. But, I mean, I guess 13K is its max. That's its peak efficiency. Pretty soon now. We're halfway there. This guy will be ready to make our very first PowerPot MK1, which, mind you, I am going to have to figure out how to power this one plot because it takes like 50,000 RF tick. So that's kind of a lot of power that I can't currently supply. But I wanted to play with it to see what's going on with it at the very least. Even if we can't use it yet, we will eventually be able to. And I wanted to boost it up and, you know, kind of get things working. See how it works. If I know how it works, then I can arrange it better on these platforms up here. And I can even, you know, just kind of design these guys in a much better way if we want to end up having a power pot for every single crop we have, which is the go big or go home that I was mentioning a couple episodes ago. So I kind of want to do that just because why the heck not? If I could actually supply, you know, however many seeds, 100 and some seeds, each with not just the 50K per tick, but if we take a look at the actual higher level of these things, it goes all the way up to 350,000 FE per tick. But if we do that times like, I don't know, a lot, however many seeds there are, that is a wicked amount of power that we're able to sustain at that point. That's one heck of a bunch of bragging rights right there. Not to mention all the resources we're going to get from it. So I want to see if we can actually do that. But anyway, I'm getting a little excited. Here we go. Here we go. I don't want to interrupt this thing. Here goes. Boo! Here goes. Here goes. It's doing a thing! Oh. Oh, that looks cool. That's pretty nifty. I don't know how long. Ah! That was a little. I'm a little disappointed in that final little poof. That one bigger reactor, we are set on power for a long time. If we were a normal player, I kind of want to go big. I want to do more. I want to make it bigger. Is it really good or really crazy that I have 326 Supremium essence? So if we go over here and actually just kind of throw a plug onto this guy real quick and actually set it to this, I want to see plus 28,000. There it goes. What's it going to be after it all empties out? Oh, it's draining. It's taking a minute, but it's draining. So plus 19,000. And it's going to balance out. It's going to settle out. As you can see here, we're definitely going to run out of resources here. Let's see. So now we're only minus 30,000. So this one, mind you, it's an MK1. There's still a 2, a 3, and a 4. This is MK1. And it's going through a basically fully optimized tier 3 Powah reactor like it's nothing. Plus a tier 1 fully optimized reactor and some of the wind generators. Not too many, so really not that much bonus, but still. And as you can see, we are going under right here. So what I actually have to do is I got to pop this guy off. Before we completely run out of energy, we need a lot of power, okay? Like lots and lots and lots of power in order to keep up with something like that. Because not only is this only the MK1, but it's also only one of them. I want over 100 MK4s. That's what I mean by go big or go home. And guess what? I'm not going home. I'm actually already home because I never really left. I'm sitting in a computer chair right now at my house. I'm not going home. We're going to get this. How? I couldn't tell you right now. But we have one as our goal. We have our goal of getting one powered at the moment. Just one. Fully powered, but also able to power everything else we want. So we definitely need to look into not only getting the highest tier reactor, but getting more than one of them. So far, we've messed with the tier 1 and the tier 3 reactors. And we kind of see them. They're good. Yeah, it works. All is good and well. And I was kind of doing a little bit of math. We go to Mystical Agriculture and look up how many seeds there are and how many of these pots we're going to need. And you do the math. Basically, in order to support 115, which is how many seeds there are, 115 MK4 power pots, you have to generate 39,100,000 FE per tick. 39 million per tick. Now, I was also taking a look at the highest reactor we can make in the Powah mod. And I don't exactly know how much it's going to generate, because obviously with the reactor we have now, generation factor of 840 FE per tick, and it goes up to about 12,000. So it's about 12 times that number that it's capable of producing. But one thing I do know is that it's never been able to produce more than the max extract. And the max extract is 160,000 per tick. It didn't even come close to that as its maximum generation. So if we go to this guy and look, its maximum generation or maximum extract is 800,000. So I'm thinking the generation factor, the max generation is maybe, if we're lucky, 100,000, 200,000 per tick. If we're lucky, and I'm thinking it's not even going to be that high. But the point is that I don't actually know. So I was taking a look at other stuff. And we have these guys, Nitro capacitor. needs nitro crystals. Needs kind of the stuff you guys, some of you guys at least, probably saw in my inventory. I can make these right now. Also, they are a tier 6 essence, but because I have 300 in some Supremium, I think we can get 4 Insanium as essence. We can get the Nitro Crystal tier 6 Mystical Agriculture seeds and skip straight to the end power generation tier of the Powah mod. Because all I've really got to do is make this particular thingamabob that I need, which it does need 20 million. This part, you can't really go quick on this one. This is going to take a while. All right, we're at 500,000. I kind of want to try to judge this a second because we do have our acceleration one, which I've tried to use a little bit, but I want to try to judge this, okay? So from 700, about 6 seconds-ish, and you guys can actually see from the timestamp on the video. So if I'm wrong when I do my assessments, let me know to see if it is actually faster. I'm curious. I can't right-click on this because it'll try to put the wand in and actually interrupt it, which I did once or twice already. But if I shift right-click, I can affect it. I don't know if it's going faster or not. Is it pulling more? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't look like it's pulling faster from here. This is what I actually sped up here from this guy. So if we go here, we're looking at about 200. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 400,000. So I think it did about double it. It went from like 1 point. Somebody, I don't know. I hate like telling you guys what to do because it's just not my style. But if any of you want to do me a favor, let me know if that actually worked. Did that speed up anything? Because I don't actually know. Obviously, it did pull the power from it. It looks like it did based on how much energy is stored in it. You see the bar at the bottom? These guys are staying full. This one is actually slowly charging back up to its 800K. It's also the most powerful one. This one's a blazing. These are hardened. So it is the one that has the most power that I also sped up. But I don't know. I don't know if it actually did anything. I'm curious. I might try to do it some more just because maybe it works. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll take any advantage I can get. So while we're waiting for this guy right here to finish, I went ahead and kind of calculated out some stuff. Now, I don't actually know how much this thing is going to generate, the full one, but I went with 100,000 to be conservative. And I kind of did a little bit of base layout as far as where to put them all. Because if it only outputs 100,000 RF per tick, which is a lot, okay? That alone is a lot. But we need 39 million per tick. If it only outputs 100,000 RF per tick, then we need about 391 fully powered Nitro Powah reactors. Now, if we do the math there, what I'm kind of estimating is about 16 per level here. If we're going to try to make it organized and decorated, because I don't want it to look ugly, okay? I'm not going to shove them somewhere and have it look ugly. We're going to decorate it too. What we're going to have is about 1, 2, 3, 4 per side. 4 sides, so 16 per level. Now, we need at least one block space in between these guys. I'm assuming that's either required, but I at least want 1 block space. And since they're 4 blocks tall, we're going with a 5 block size per level. So 5 blocks times the, I forget how many levels. It was about 25 levels that we would need of these reactors. 25 levels of 16 nitro reactors. 5 times 25 is 125, and we're only about 125 in the air. It's going all the way down to about 0. But if you take a gander at what I said my storyline was, we're looking at a guy who's making a pillar from the ground made of ice. That's our decoration for an entire pillar of these reactors, if that's what we need. We will decorate the outside of this pillar with I keep saying the word decorative, but with a decorative pillar coming from the ground up to this level, fully hiding our, however many generators we needed. I don't remember what the number was anymore. There's so much, though. It's going to be huge. It's going to be insane, but that can be our design for it. All I really need to do is go and break a bunch of the pulsating crates and hope that I get 2 nether stars. I've gotten a bunch, actually, before. Well, I say I've gotten a bunch. I broke enough of the pulsating crates to get 3 nether stars. Nether star seeds. Let's go. Now, so I went ahead and loaded this up, and if you realize, we have this guy filled again, and it took a while before our energy actually ran out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to use this guy sparingly just to kind of hurry it up. Now, it's going to use a lot, of course, right? I'm curious at just how fast we're going to run out of this power if we do this. Is it going to make it through an entire crop? I want to see how much power we have left afterwards. Remember, this is an acceleration wand. So we're basically telling it to go faster. So what did it went about half of it. I might be able to do it one more time. Now, did we get 16? Oh my goodness, we did. We got 16 of these already. All right, so let's do one more. Now, obviously, our power is going to run the crap out really, 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 really fast. Like, it's going to run out here soon, and it's not going to refill. Oh, I got one full one again. So we have both of those now. How much power do we... Oh, we're down to 0 in the tank. We got to take this off because we're not getting power anywhere else now. So we got to let that stall out for now. And I'm going to go ahead and put it basically up top. And we're going to use that 1 just so we can, like, every once in a while we'll get it when we know our energy is filled. So now I have 32. And the reason I needed to get so many so quickly is because we need so many of these in order to get 1 nether star. But the point remains that we can grow nether stars. So if we go to nether star essence, basically, what it is a 9 gives you 1 shard. And you need 3 shards to make a nether star. So we have it. And now what I can do with this is with the nitro, I can make the nitro like this. So every 27 nether star essences we get, we can make another batch of nitro crystal, which eventually we're just going to be able to get huge amounts of because we're going to have enough power for everything. Okay. The grind is coming to a close. I hope. And at least only for this project, because there's always going to be grinding. But I am a little bit worried just because I did go ahead and make the blazing one, and I'll show you a little bit why here in a second. But I needed more power, in short. So I went in here and you see the generation factor. Well, I'm ignoring the generation factor for this. It goes from 1.4 FE per tick to 12,000. So that gave me a lot of hope. And then it only went up to 18,000. So I'm like, But I went ahead and I was able to make the reactor. I finally was able to do all this. I got enough seeds. And again, I'll show you kind of what the pattern was over here with what I was doing. And we're ready. I don't know how much this is going to generate, but this is the highest level reactor they have. So if we do this and it starts filling in everything, I have no idea how much we're going to generate by the time it's done kind of ramping up. So the dry ice doesn't increase the power. It just makes this more efficient, which is going to be useful for us. If we can find a way to automate this guy, which I'm betting there's a way to do it. If we can do that, then it'll save us a lot of fuel, which we are going to want. Because, like, the first one starts, even with blue ice, the first one starts at a usage of 0.03. This guy being 0.08, yeah, there we go, 0.08, almost a 0.09. It's using a lot more Uraninite, of course. So maybe that'll go down to like 0.4, which is actually less than tier 2. We're basically going to do this because I really want to see what overpowered looks like. I want to have endless resources and never have to worry about them again. For anything that I need. Like that's just where I want to be. Mind you, in order to complete the final area of this pack, we kind of need to. Because if you're not a familiar, we need all of these singularities in order to accomplish what we need to accomplish. Right? We need the ultimate singularity, which needs all of these singularities. 32 million, not a problem. But each of these requires a lot of these. Now, some of them are like, okay, 1,500 items, yeah, whatever. That's not too terrible for oak logs. We got our wood essence, we're fine. But then you go to, like, you need 1,500 raw neural processors, which is all, what? And it just gets way complicated. Dimensional shard. Wyvern energy core. This is pretty expensive, you know, and you need 1,500 of them. So it depends on the singularity, but it gets way more crazy later. And then that's the ultimate singularity. This guy is actually used for other stuff, like the creative energy cube. And I'm imagining all of the other creative things that we're supposed to like craft up here. Like the creative capacitor, the creative essence, fluid tank, all of these guys. We have to craft all of them in order to complete the pack. That's where I am in my mind. I basically am requiring myself to fulfill all of those things before I am allowed to say we are done here. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to stop at that point, because I also want to finish the build, which we haven't even started yet. So it could be a while, but that's kind of, I'm not allowed to stop before that. Before we're done with those, I have to keep going. That's the requirement I'm giving myself before I'm allowed to say that this series is over. We're at the point now where everything is kind of going in. We have the solid coolant. The thing is using, well, it's not using anything right now, but when it does, it's like 0.49 something or I don't know, something along those lines, somewhere in there, basically 0.4-ish. So it did about have what it needed or what it was using per tick as far as fuel, which is good. And we're going to need that, especially with the amount of these we're going to need. But I am down to the point where I'm going to have to start designing how to fit a huge amount of these reactors into my base without it looking super tacky or super bad. But it is what it is, and I'm going to plan it out. We're going to figure it out, because I'm going to do this. It's going to happen. But not this episode. Because, yeah, it's kind of over, and it might be long. I don't know. But if you like the video, please do hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.